Good evening and welcome to Feed Yourself Well, and tonight's recipes are all about fried chicken and potato salad. So if you got a 3-day weekend and you got some plans for cooking, this is a good way to go. The fried chicken that we're going to be doing tonight, I've gotten a lot of requests for, and I'm going to use my grandmother's method of preparing it. She'd like to do a marinade. She had several steps involved when she prepared chicken. She would first wash it, pat it dry, salt it, several layers. But for this tonight, what I've done is I've gone ahead and prepared the marinade early. And I'm going to tell you what's in the marinade. It's a combination of yellow mustard, hot sauce, and my own seasoning blend. I've got some of that right here, and I'm going to tell you what's in it, but you're going to have to determine how much you want to use in yours because you can tailor it and create it the way you want it to be. So it's a combination of one of my favorites, smoked paprika. Poultry seasoning, of course, is here. We've got some granulated garlic, some onion powder, and some seasoned salt. So those are the base ingredients that go into this seasoning blend for frying chicken. It's one of my go-tos. I've got 3 cups of just plain all-purpose flour here. And I'm going to add, for every cup, about a heaping teaspoon of seasoning right in there, because we want to season both. We got the chicken marinating, and it's been in the marinade now for about 3 hours. That's long enough to really permeate and get some good flavor notes going into the chicken. You don't want to leave it too long because often the chicken becomes too salty. It starts to pick up too much salt, and you really don't want that. So flour, seasoning, toss it to combine right in a zip bag, keeps it clean and easy. Now, you don't want to fry cold chicken right out of the refrigerator. Let your chicken temperature come up to room temperature. Takes about maybe 45 minutes to an hour for that to happen, so you're still in the safety window. If you go right in with cold chicken into hot oil, it forces all of the blood in the bone to push out to the end, and you get a lot of black spots in your frying pan. So you don't want to get those. You want to avoid that. So by letting it come up to temperature, and it also cooks even and cooks a little faster than going in cold. Okay? So I've got some chicken wings that I've trimmed the tip off, and some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Chicken thighs is one of my favorite cuts because it's not only juicy, it's flavorful, but when you fry them just right, they make great chicken sandwiches. So I'm going to do 2 wings, 2 thighs into our flour combination, and I'm just going to toss to coat it. You want to make sure that the chicken is nicely coated with flour. I like using a clear bag so I can see the chicken happening. My grandmother used to use a paper bag, and she'd take the chicken, drop it in the paper bag, shake it up, and pluck the pieces out one at a time. And then she would move to the next important step, which is allowing the chicken to really dry well before it goes into the oil. So we're going to head back over, and I've got some chicken that's already there drying. I'm going to add this to it. So I've got some chicken that I've already set out. It's been here for about 30 minutes. It's starting to dry. And I'm going to add to it the pieces that I just coated with flour. So there's a thigh. These are some colossal wings. There's another wing. Rarely do I fry chicken breasts. Some people are chicken breast fans. I think they tend to dry out because they take a little longer to cook, especially with the bone in. So they tend to take a little longer. Often they can get a little drier. The breast doesn't have a whole lot of moisture in it at all. So if I was going to do a breast, I would do a boneless, skinless one. Okay, so we got our chicken set out, and we're going to let that dry. I've got a cast iron skillet because we're going to be cooking in cast iron. It's over medium-high heat, and it's warming through. So that pan, if you can see that little shimmer, it's kind of vibrating a little bit. That means the oil is ready to present the chicken to. Okay, so as we cook, remember, whenever we fry, you always want to do presentation side down, and we've got about 1/3 of just vegetable oil in the pan, so you don't want more than that. You just want the chicken to just start to rest down in the oil. You don't want to do too much because then you get a lot of splatter, you get a lot of action that you're not looking for. Okay, so we've got 4 pieces of chicken in, and we're just going to let those go. We're going to let them do their thing. We're going to keep it on medium-high heat and head back over and start assembling the ingredients for our potato salad. So for our potato salad, I like to use usually Yukon Gold or white potatoes. And the key about making potato salad really well is that you want to dice your potatoes about the same size. You want the same size so that they cook evenly. You don't want them to overcook in spots, and you have some pieces that are undercooked as well. You want to make sure you got same size pieces so it cooks evenly throughout. I like a medium dice, and I'll show you what those potatoes look like as medium dice. Now these have been cooked. I put them on a sheet pan and let them cool completely. My other big pet peeve is mashed potato salad. I hate it when you overcook the potatoes, you throw everything in, and then you just mix together. So like we've done in previous videos, we're going to build the dressing first. So in the silver bowl that I have here, I'm going to add, I've got about 1.5 cups of mayonnaise here. That's going in first. Then I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of just yellow mustard right in. So we got mayo, mustard in. Then I've taken celery, green bell pepper, and just some sweet onion. I diced it small, so you want a small dice on this, about the same size as the pickle relish that we're going to put in, because you don't want to bite into a big chunk of celery or a big chunk of bell pepper that's not spread out evenly. This way, we can take a small amount of ingredients and cover a lot of space. So I've got about 1/3 cup of each one. Right in that goes. The other favorite is hard-boiled egg. So I've got 4 hard-boiled eggs that I've just taken a fork, and once I peeled them, I just passed the fork through them and just crumbled them up. It's so much easier that way than trying to manage to dice them. Just take a fork, run it right through the egg, mashes up nicely. I'm just going to give the bowl a turn. So we've got a nice dressing here, and I'm going to add to this 2 tablespoons of dill pickle relish. The further south you go, you better use sweet relish. But for this recipe, I really like the tangy dill pickle relish for it. I'm going to fold that in. It almost looks like egg salad right now. If you guys can see that. Nice, that's going to be great mixed in with potatoes. Now I've added 2 teaspoons of just seasoning salt, any one you want to use, it's your choice, and a teaspoon of black pepper on top. And that's going to be the seasoning. Potatoes like salt, so you can always go back and re-salt if you need to. But start with a measured amount first because you don't want to over salt. You can't take it out once you put it in. So adjust as needed with salt and pepper to taste. Okay, so I've got my cooked diced potatoes. In goes our dressing. Let's get it all out. And then this is just a fold. You're just going to toss the potatoes to coat them with that mayo mustard dressing. Make sure everybody gets some. Just a few nice turns. Oh man, that's looking great. And that's going to be our potato salad. Now, I like to take it, cover it with plastic wrap, put it in the fridge for about 2-3 hours before serving so it's nice and cold. But this one, we're going to taste it as well. Let's take a taste. I'm going to check for salt. Spot on. Doesn't need a thing. Potato salad is set up. We're going to slide back over and check on our chicken and see what we got going on in the pan. This chicken is a gorgeous golden brown. If you've noticed, I'm rotating it to keep the color nice and even. I don't want to get any hot spots on the chicken, so I'm going to turn it occasionally. Now, if we were deep frying in a large stock pot with a lot more oil than this, I wouldn't have to turn it as much because the chicken would be totally enrobed in the oil. So that piece is ready. We're going to pull it out. And this piece looks great. Nice crust. Oh yeah, that's what you want, that nice crust. You want that on the chicken. I'm just going to lay them on a sheet pan, and I'm going to go ahead and add a few more pieces. If you can see, I got them on a rack so that they can drain. That's out. And in we go with a few more pieces of chicken. Again, I got some really large chicken wings that I trimmed the tip off of so they would fit nicely in the pan. And I'm going to do 4 more pieces in, and we'll let that cook. Okay, so let's head back over to our station. All right, there's our fried chicken. So if you want to make this recipe, it's really easy to do. The trick is to make sure when you open your chicken out the pack, you rinse it off, pat it dry. Make sure the chicken is dry. Make the marinade. Once you made the marinade, you're going to toss the chicken and coat it in the marinade. The marinade is a combination of yellow mustard, hot sauce, our seasoning blend, and sometimes, but not on this batch, I'll put a little extra oil in there sometimes and squeeze a little vegetable oil just to help everything get going. But I didn't do it with this batch. So then the flour combination. It's flour and our seasoning blend. The seasoning blend, smoked paprika, seasoning salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and of course, poultry seasoning. That goes in as well. If you can see, we got a nice color on our chicken. This is the favorite part of the night, is the plating. So I'm just going to spoon some of our potato salad right on the plate. Another little stamp of that. So we've got potato salad. Let me grab some tongs because that chicken is hot. Let's do a wing. And let's do a thigh. So that's dinner tonight. And as always, remember, feed yourselves well. There you go. And of course, we're going to take some pictures. Subscribe, comment. If you got anything that you want to see, please let us know. We'd be happy to put the video together for you. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick nibble because I'm just curious. Let's taste. I tasted the potato salad, but this chicken is super hot. So I'm just going to take a little piece off of the corner. Grandma would be proud. Remember, stay safe this weekend. Have a great time. 3-day weekend. Enjoy. Fry some chicken. Make some potato salad. Stay home. Wear your mask. I'm out. Feed yourselves well.